So yes, maybe your mind is rare. Maybe it's misunderstood. Maybe it even scares people a little. But maybe that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Because the ones who truly change the world, the thinkers, the seekers, the observers, are never understood at first. They walk alone, not because they have to, but because few can keep up. And let's be honest, most people aren't built for that kind of depth. They're comfortable in shallow waters, counting their toys, scrolling their meaningless feeds, pretending complexity doesn't exist. You, however, you've already drowned in it. When they say, "You're different," smile. They mean, you're free. And freedom terrifies ordinary minds. Because freedom doesn't obey their rules. Freedom sees beyond the illusions they cling to. And that is dangerous to the comfortably numb. The most haunting sign of all? You understand people too well. You see their masks, their patterns, their pain they think they've hidden. You know when someone's lying? Not because of what they say, but because of what they don't. You notice the micro-expressions they think no one sees. The subtle hesitation in their speech. The tiny cracks in their carefully polished facades. And when you start reflecting that understanding back at them, subtly, like a mirror they can't avoid, they flinch. Because you've seen behind their social makeup, into the messy, trembling truth they don't show anyone. You make people uncomfortable, not by intention, but by observation. You don't need to raise your voice, argue, or dominate a conversation. Your awareness is enough to unsettle them. Then there's your self-awareness. You analyze your own mind like it's a lab experiment, observing your thoughts, your flaws, your triggers. You know your darkness, and that terrifies people more than anything. Because most people spend their whole lives running from their shadows. You? You shake hands with yours? You stare into the parts of yourself everyone else hides under rugs and excuses, and you don't flinch. You've learned that your demons aren't always enemies. Sometimes they're teachers. And yet, for the world, that depth is abnormal. People fear what they can't categorize. And a person who looks into the dark and keeps walking forward, wow, that's a scary kind of rare. Your curiosity is relentless. You don't just notice things, you chase them. When something piques your interest, you dive. Not shallowly, not safely, but deep enough to find the deep truth hidden in layers of human nonsense. You question everything, authority, traditions, even yourself. You want to know why things work, not just that they do. And that makes you unpredictable, unsettling to those who follow scripts. Society thrives on predictability. Lines rehearsed, lives obedient, questions avoided. You, however, refuse the rehearsal. You rewrite the scene in real time. And people around you, they never know what you'll do or say next. And uncertainty is terrifying to the unobservant. You are selective with people. You can't fake interest, feign connection, or pretend chemistry exists when it doesn't. You either resonate or you vanish. You can sit silently with someone and instantly know whether they're worth your energy, whether they vibrate at your frequency, whether they'll leave an imprint or drain your soul. And when they don't measure up, you disappear. No drama, no explanations. Just gone. Because you've realized pretending exhausts more than honesty ever could. This leaves others baffled, maybe even resentful. But let's be real, they were never meant to understand the rhythm of a rare mind anyway. You crave solitude. You don't need a crowd, you need space. Silence isn't loneliness for you, it's sanctuary. It's where your thoughts grow, where you can breathe without interference. You recharge in quiet, observe yourself, reflect on life, and perhaps even talk to the shadows that others fear. The world calls it antisocial behavior, but you know it's not. It's not an absence of connection, it's the presence of thought that others fear. You've outgrown the noise most people call life. And frankly, it's exhausting to watch them cling to chaos like a lifeboat. You seek truth even when it hurts. You don't chase comfort, you chase understanding. Beautiful lies bore you. Small talk feels like torture, because your mind is busy dissecting life's mechanics. Human nature, mortality, why people sabotage happiness, why kindness often fails to survive. You'd rather confront a painful truth than stay entertained by illusions. And that's terrifying for ordinary minds. They want easy answers, comforting stories, status quo illusions. You sniff out the lies and stare straight at the void. Your emotional depth is intense. You don't just feel sadness, you drown in it. You don't just experience love, you burn with it. You notice everything, internalize it, process it in ways that exhaust ordinary people. You read rooms, silences, and tones as if they were open books. But when you act, express, or react, they call you too sensitive. As if feeling too much is a crime. It isn't a crime, it's a rarity. And that intensity, that clarity of emotional vision terrifies them because it highlights their numbness. And the first sign, you see patterns in chaos. Where others shrug and say, it's just coincidence. Your mind whispers, no, there's a story here. You connect dots no one else notices. You anticipate outcomes, foresee behaviors, and notice inconsistencies people assume are invisible. They call you an overthinker, as if the capacity to think beyond the shallow surface were a flaw. It's not overthinking. It's understanding. And understanding makes ordinary people nervous. Because you can't be manipulated as easily. Your mind doesn't follow scripts, and that terrifies them. Rare minds don't fit easily. They intimidate without trying. They unsettle without speaking. People project their insecurities onto you, label you, misunderstand you. But they're only labeling what they don't understand, what they fear. And here's the dark truth. The traits that isolate you are the very traits that make you extraordinary. The depth, the solitude, the awareness, the relentless curiosity. They are not flaws. They are evolution in motion. You are built differently. You observe, feel, question, endure, and survive in ways most can't even comprehend. You don't seek validation. You seek meaning. And that is what terrifies ordinary minds the most. Because meaning doesn't obey their comfort zones. It challenges, provokes, illuminates what they bury. So when they whisper, "You're different," smile. They mean you're free. And freedom. Nothing terrifies ordinary minds more than freedom.